Yeah, UKA. Hey, Doug, Mr. Doug, the voice of Long Island, and I think Bruce. Were you checking out?
No, I'm back in the shack. I had to take the dog out.
Okay, Bruce. I'll talk to you soon on the phone. 730 WX2T.
Well, hi, I'm by Rick, 7-3. Hello, Bruce, Mike, Richie. Hope you guys are doing well.
Good evening there, Doug.
How about you?
I'm gonna go get a refill, fellas. N2LYM.
All right, Mike, come on back. I'm doing good, Richie. Crappy weather we're having. Doing well. Wife and kids, we just got back from seeing the Minecraft movie. It was a lot of fun. It was hilarious, actually. We had a good time. Richie, I ordered a 10E. I'm on the list.
Congrats, Doug. Good for you. I think we're all on the list. I don't know when we're going to get it, though.
I got an email last night. I don't know when we're going to get it either. They sent me an email confirming the order, and I'm going to have it in 8 weeks. I won't hold my breath.
Excuse me for being stupid, but what is a 10E?
The 10E was one of the original Anon radios. They're revamping it and releasing it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you guys are Anon guys. Okay, very good. Yeah, there's, excuse me. I heard Richie talking about the Hermes, and yeah, that's a whole other genre of radio.
Yeah. Richie, I think I'm going to make the 10E my pie machine.
Excellent. Good job there, Doug. Yeah, whatever you decide to do. And all I can tell you is I hope we get it. I'm on the list. I've been on that thing for a couple weeks now at least. I did get the brick too. That came last week. I have to get the DB9 connector for the relay for the amp. Actually, I don't really need. Well, yeah, I need for the amp. It puts out 15 to 20 watts of power. And same as it's pretty much the 10E, but a little bit different.
Yeah, Roger. Okay. Are you on that now? Oh no, you're not.
No.
Yeah. You just said you need a cable.
I ordered DB9 plugs that I could wire up, and I got the male instead of the female.
Story of my life. I realized after I asked you, you said you were waiting on a cable. All good. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play with this stuff. It really, really is. And yeah, everything's good. Just been a crazy week. What I do for a living's been crazy, and but all good. Taxes are due on Tuesday. That's not fun. But what are you gonna do?
Oh, yeah. What is it, the 15th? I forget the date, 17th, 8th. What did they do? They change it?
No, it's the 15th. Who the hell knows? Maybe it is the 17th. It's normally the 15th. I'll file an extension, but you still got to pay on the 15th.
Well, I think the extension's got to be in, and then you got up to whatever it is to pay. I don't know. Whatever, it is what it is. Sometimes we got to do what we got to do. And it's always that time, this time of the year. So, what are you going to, I don't know. Anyway, 10E looks nice. I didn't take the cover off, but I saw the pictures already online. There's a couple more you can still order right now, low supply. And took about 7-8 days to get here.
Wait, you talking about the brick?
Brick 2, it comes out of Germany. It's German made.
What's up, Andy?
German engineering, German made from Germany.
Oh, well, the Germans are meticulous on their everything being perfect, so I'm assuming it's very well built.
one. Well, I'll. Did I send you the links? I thought I did send you the links on that, Doug. Maybe not. But I'll resend it when I get a chance, and you check it out. But yeah, I think look, the Hermes Light 2, 12-bit. This is 14-bit. Both of them are using the Altera FPGA. I think it's Altera Cyclone 4. I think. Identical in the Hermes Light 2. Identical in the Brick 2. The only thing they're using the same type modem chip, the 9.6, but not identical. It's a different chip that they're using, which allows 6 meters. So, how much of the DACs where the difference is in the audio DAC? So the up-down converter, the down converter, up converter. That's where the difference is, but not the audio chip. I'm sorry. It comes with an audio board. Comes with the switching, like an I/O board. So everything, it was $4.99 and then $5.60 shipping. Then you convert it from, I guess, euro to our money, or German money to our money. So the $5.60 turned out to be $6.31.
That's, you got if you're not portable, well, even if you are portable, if you're a regular ham radio operator who's operating out of his basement or his study or wherever the hell he has his shack set up at, for $600, okay, you got a radio that's going to perform and sound better and receive better than almost every other conventional radio you could think of. That is $3,000 to $7,000. It's really unbelievable.
I would have never known because I didn't want to use a computer because of RF issues. Now, you know why? It takes a little bit. Maybe there are some guys out there that get the RF and it's either the antenna or being too close to the house or something not right, but that's usually the culprit. You got to move the antenna away from the home, and you got to try not to use end-feds. Use balanced antennas.
Yeah, well, that's what we're using here. Even on my last QTH, the vertical was probably only 70 feet from my operating position, and it was a little more challenging. I choked it at the feed point. I choked it before it came in the house, and I was able to get rid of the RF. But yeah, it's just truly unbelievable. If you look at the prices of these new Yaesus and ICOMs, and and that's the Brick, right? And the Brick's more expensive than the Hermes, I believe, right? So anywhere from $400 to $600, you can have state-of-the-art operating abilities. KB2 UKA.
Brick 2 and the 10E performance is identical. There's no difference. No difference at all. I don't care. Even on the test equipment, it's going to be pretty much the same. So small, so minute. It's the same design. It's the same everything, but the amplifier filter board is different.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Bruce, you still in there?
Yeah, Doug, I'm still here. I'm listening to you guys. I'm a bit ignorant of your side of the world. I'm still a disciple of the knob twisting, and I don't really know what's out. Well, I know Anon and all that stuff, and I've watched a few videos on the Hermes light stuff, but I'm not in your world, so it's interesting to listen to you guys talk. Over.
Well, it's funny. I've been on these SDRs now 5 years, and every now and then I get a craving for a conventional radio that I keep fantasizing that I'm going to put on the table right next to me here. But I've been looking at Kenwoods again, and I've never owned a Kenwood. I would like to own a Kenwood, but I just feel like, every time I sit down at this chair, which one am I going to turn on? And 9 out of 10 times it's going to be probably what I have on now. But what's cool, Bruce, a non-flex, you could get the same thing that we're doing with knobs now. A non makes a G2, which has a VFO and other buttons on the front panel and a touch screen. I think it's touch screen. Richie could confirm that. I'm almost sure it is. And Flex has the models that have the screen built in with the knobs and the VFO. So you can get the best of both worlds. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Doug, I've been looking at the Flex 8600, and I know I saw there was an Anon. I had to send my 7610 back out for repair. There was a couple of problems that cropped up. And I just got a call from ICOM on Thursday. They repair, the cost of repair was pretty substantial. And, so now the radio's going to come back with a warranty on repair, and it's probably just going to be fine. But I kind of have a hair across my you-know-what, and I said, maybe I should sell it and get something else. And so I did do a deep dive into the Flex 8600. I don't know. I think I'm a little more comfortable dealing with a U.S. company. Even though Anon is Indian-based, and I think they set up U.S. operations in California. I guess you guys can know more about it than I do, but I don't know. I just have a little bit of intrepidation about that. So I said, then I started to look at the price, and I said, that's certainly a lot more radio than I need for what I do. So like right now I'm on my backup radio. I'm on the 7300, and I've been using that for the last month while the 7610 was out for repair, and I'm perfectly happy with it. It does everything I need it to do. So, it's just it's just an issue of need versus want. So I'm kind of in that quandary. Over to you, Richie. How you been doing? K2RPM.
K2RPM, KC2ZUR. I've been doing good. I've been working. I had to go in early every day this week. I was training on this real sophisticated job, very difficult to machine. A lot of checking. You got to make a cut, check, gauge, cut, check, and it's just was very a little stressful. But last night I ran the part by myself. Everybody went home. I set it up, loaded the part. Indicate to load the part. It's not very big. It's maybe about 15 inches long by 7-8 inches wide, and it's kind of like round, like a boomerang, but not with the V in the middle. It's like a radius. It's part. There's 12 pieces that complete a big circle, and the only thing I can say, it's for GE. It's for the turbine engines, and what we're doing is we're machining it. It has to be nice and flat. Everything has to be better than 2000s. And on a milling machine, that gets a little tight. It's not that bad. I mean, when you get under 1,000, 5/10, that's tight for a milling machine because it's really grinding spec. Anyway, long story short, I 7 hours to make one part.
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at something, and then my PTT is my space bar, so I wasn't on the right screen. That's amazing, Richie. Richie, I don't know, what exactly do you do? I don't think I've ever asked you. You don't have to say where you work, but what do you do?
Aviation machinist.
Yeah, I didn't, aviation?
We do aviation parts for the military.
Oh, that's very cool. Very cool. You work over near Farmingdale or somewhere else?
I don't get in. But anyway, that's what I do. But this job it's a tough job. If you scrap one part, the set of 12 is scrapped.
Very interesting. That's really cool stuff. Very cool.
So, Doug,
there's quite a bit of
I
operations on this part.
That,
Goes to a giant lathe. It's turned on a giant lathe.
Business, is that correct?
Then it's cut into sections.
Yeah, Bruce, stand by.
Yeah.
Then we get it and we start machining the hell out of it. So this is I'm doing the fourth operation in milling. So there's a lot of time. I think to make one part, I'm not sure about all the operations, but at least up until what we're doing. Let's see, 7, 8, 9, and then the other ops took another 10 hours. 19 hours to do 4 different operations for one part.
That's a lot of work, a lot of patience, and a lot of precision. Yeah, Bruce, I provide investment advice and manage money for a fee, and I own my firm.
Well, Richie, that's an amazing. Just for someone to have the patience to do that, I applaud you, my friend. And Doug, the reason I ask you is because I've been reading a lot about HF radio trading. They're doing transaction processing over HF radio. And I just read an article at the FCC. It's called Mystery. The article was entitled "Mystery Shortwave Radio," and what they're doing is the FCC granted a couple of companies the ability to use HF radio or shortwave radio for transaction trading. And what the article said is it beats the latency of fiber optics, which, you know what, it kind of reminds me of the Flash Boys, and I was kind of involved in the periphery of normalizing delivery of packets to the data centers and normalizing the arrival rate of packets. So this thing kind of smells a little bit. I don't know whether you know anything about it. Over.
KB2UKA. Well, I'm glad you're asking me this and not about the market because I can't give investment advice over the radio. But I read an article. I read up on it probably about a year and a half ago, and I'm kind of aware of it. And you know, when they first started granting approval for this, people were worried they were going to take ham radio spectrum. So. Yeah, you're correct. So right now, the largest trading firms, I'm not talking about what I do, which is manage money for individuals and medium to large businesses, but trading firms that are trading millions and millions and millions of shares a minute. Currently, they all surround, the buildings are all around the exchange. And they have fiber optic cable running underground into the exchange because those nanoseconds matter with pricing, obviously, and return when they're trading that type of volume. So, yes, transmitting the trade over the air is allegedly, which I guess not allegedly, is quicker than even having a 200-foot fiber optic cable or a 500-foot fiber optic cable or a 1,000-foot fiber optic cable next door to the exchange. So I'm sure it's all digital and all encrypted and whatnot. But, you know, they got to get their order to the market maker. That's like the order of operations. The order goes to the market maker, and then the market maker facilitates the buy and the sell. So what I'm not privy to is where they're sending their order now. With I know it was 2 or 3 companies. You're correct, and I probably could find the original article. I don't know who's receiving it. Like, is there a antenna and a receiver at the New York Stock Exchange? See, that I'm not aware of. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it seemed to me from the articles I've read, even though there's actually companies that are offering HF radio trading, and so I guess you subscribe to it. But the inference of the articles were that it was international transaction processing of some sort. And yeah, Doug, I've worked for a lot of those guys you talked about as a consultant. The big guys, I won't mention who, but you know who they are. And I've worked for them for over the years. And then the fiber that runs from Wall Street, Lower Manhattan, across the Hudson River, and then ends up in what's called point of presence rooms and carrier rooms in the remote data centers. We actually had to, based on that Flash Boys stuff, this was some years ago, we actually had to measure the latency on all those links and then put in compensation fiber so that the latency throughout every link coming into the data centers were equal. So there was no advantage of one guy over the other. Now, you can listen on 11 megahertz and 13 megahertz. You can listen to the transaction processing stuff going on. Very wide bandwidth, all digital. I mean, you can't decrypt it, but you can tell that's where they're sitting based on stuff that I've culled off the internet. And no, I won't. I won't ask you about the market because my guys are pulling their hair out of their head as well as I am, and it's who knows what's going to happen. But God bless you. I'm sure you needed a couple of Alka-Seltzers this week. So with that, I'll turn it over to Richie, KC2ZUR, to take it, K2RPM.
The thing, Bruce, I have to add to that is it was very interesting. I'm not a market guy, but I will tell you, if I had a couple $1 million sitting in the bank doing nothing, when they increased the tariffs and the market fell on speculation and everybody started panicking selling, I would have bought. I would have spent all $2 million. I would have quadrupled that money today.
Well, the market's going to rip on Monday with the announcement overnight.
What announcement, Doug?
You heard that he took the tariffs off computers and chips and everything, right?
That's the announcement, Bruce. From China. He said no tariff on computer parts, chips, anything like that.
Oh, okay. I didn't look at any of the papers today, so I'm behind. Okay, well, that's good. As much as I support Trump and, I'm a backer, I think he's going at it with a shotgun approach rather than a little more forensic approach to things. And he's causing a lot of ripples, if you will. But I think the end result will be positive. It's just, more pain than might be necessary. Over.
Well, yeah. Some people are of that school. And then what I think he's doing, what he is doing, he's doing the slap across the face and then the pet. Okay? He's punching them and then petting them so that they remember that he can punch them. And so, tariffs everywhere, tariffs on everyone, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you raise me, I raise you. That's the punch. And then the pet was, okay, for 90 days, I'm dropping everyone back to 10, the ones that are going to negotiate with me. And then the pet to China was now, okay, your chips and your computer parts not tariffed. And then when they don't come to the table, he puts it back. Here's the only... It hasn't actually been that stressful at work because we educate the clients well, and people they're in certain strategies where even if the market goes down, they have protections and whatever. But if you look at the chart of the S&P 500 since inception, and if you're Richie and you happen to put that whole $2 million into the market at the highest point that S&P ever was before it was higher, right? Before a crash, you always make money. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's great to buy low, but if you happen to buy at the high, that high in the history of the S&P is going to be outpaced 3, 4, 5 years from that day. And actually, I think this time it's going to be a lot quicker. The only risk, because history, doesn't guarantee future results, as we all know. The only risk, and we've had this risk multiple times in history, is that we are no longer here as a country. World War II, the Great Depression, I'd even say we were probably militarily vulnerable in 2008 with our markets all destroyed. So that's the risk. The risk is there's no more country. There's no electricity. We've been invaded. That's where the risk always falls. But minus that risk, it's the time your money's in the market, not when you're putting it in.
Well, Doug, I'll add another risk is that keeps me up at night is cyber attacks.
Well, that's all. I include that in my we're not here anymore risk.
Well, there you go. Because all that has to happen is they shut down the exchanges with a cyber attack, and that would generate chaos. Over.
Right, because then your account at Merrill Lynch or Morgan Stanley that says X amount of money in it, that's not real. That's not real to you right now or to anybody. That's just a number on a page. And the reason we're comfortable with having numbers on a page is because we have faith in that system. But yeah, if that system gets shut down, now you're like, wait a minute, I don't want the number on the page. I want to hold the green in my hand, and everyone, then you can't get it out. And that, yes, that would be, we'd be in the streets in about 48 hours killing each other. Yeah, I agree there. And what else I was thinking is, you told me to go to 11 megahertz. Yeah, I know we can't decipher what that information is, but I bet in a couple of months to a couple of years, you're just gonna have to hold, Chat GPT up to those tones, and it'll be able to decipher it. They're gonna have to they're gonna have to come up with encryption is going to need to be completely revamped.
One more thing I'm going to add, if I got it.
GPT is not going to do that.
You know what I meant, Mike. I'm Chat GPT like AI. AI is going to be able to decipher anything. Go ahead, Richie.
Okay, the only thing I'm going to add right now, even if the market is stable and everybody went to withdrawal for whatever reason, guess what? You're not getting paid. The money's not there to pay everybody.
Hey, notice the price of gold, $3,250.
Well, the shares aren't even there, Richie. The shares don't exist anymore. They're not physical. They're held at a transfer agent with zeros and ones.
2008, 2009. I was going to buy shares, okay? But it was through a firm. And I told them, do I get those shares? They told me no. I get to look at them on an inventory list. I get to look at them online. I get to look at them on a statement. I said, what happens if you go bankrupt? Good question, he says.
Well, no, the shares are held at a transfer agent digitally. No one owns the shares but you. But if the shares aren't able to be located, that's a whole nother story. The broker doesn't own the shares. The clearing firm doesn't own the shares. Technically, the transfer agent and you own the shares.
But I don't really, I mean, it's really not mine. I got it
Nope.
from the broker. So I thought the broker did the transaction. They hold the shares. I mean, I would like to have those certificates delivered to me in my possession, but they don't do that.
No, there's no more physical shares. And when you buy, if you log into E-Trade today or Monday and you buy 10 shares of Apple, okay, you're going to see 10 shares of Apple on your E-Trade account. E-Trade doesn't have those 10 shares. They're the broker dealer. They're facilitating the order to go to the market maker. Then those are getting registered in your name at a transfer agent. That's where the shares are. But again, they're not in a vault. They're not a piece of paper. They're held on a drive somewhere at the transfer agent.
But you're not guaranteed. If something was to go wrong, a major recession, there's a chance you could lose all that, correct?
No. Well, yes and no. If there's a major recession, you don't lose your shares. You lose whatever company issued those shares based on the price of their stock. That's the value of your shares. There's no guarantee, right? There's no guarantee in investing. The only guarantee you have when you have a brokerage account is called SIPC. And that's not to guarantee you against the price of the stock going down. That's to guarantee you if Morgan Stanley no longer existed, you're insured up to $500,000 in each account. But that's not to say your $500,000 went down to $100,000. That's to say if the broker-dealer closed their doors tomorrow, your shares have to be replaced by the transfer agent up to $500,000.
But do you know who the transfer agent is? Do you get that information? Because all I thought you get was the statement from the broker.
No, you don't know who the transfer agent is, though there's only like two of them. You know who the clearing firm is, and you know who the broker-dealer is. But that's a concern that is probably not warranted, because if the transfer agents no longer exist, we're not here anymore.
No. But if the broker goes belly up and there's no one at the broker, how do you have access to know who has your shares? All you have is a piece of paper from the broker.
Brokers do go belly up. Bear Stearns went belly up, right? And J.P. Morgan bought Bear Stearns. So all those accounts just became J.P. Morgan accounts. But if no one were to purchase the broker-dealer, Richie's 10 shares of Apple are registered at the transfer agent. Somebody's going to come in and take those accounts over.
But I don't know what's going on. In other words, who's gonna contact me and tell me that they took the shares, my shares?
It's a highly regulated industry, so all your info, it would be replaced. It's just like how else can I explain this? It's the same thing when if you have a term life insurance policy, Rich, you've been sending them $500 a month for 20 years. That life insurance company, and you have $1 million death benefit, so that when you die, your family gets $1 million. Well, that life insurance company could become insolvent tomorrow. So now what? What happened to all the money you sent them for the premium, and what happened to the death benefit that you knew your family was going to get? Well, every state has something called a life insurance administrator, which is normally the governor of the state, and they set rules. And the rules state that if you want to be an insurer in, let's pick New York, in New York State, and another insurance company goes out of business, and you write 20% of all the insurance policies in New York State, well, if you want to continue to write insurance, you have to pick up 20% of the policies of a company that went out of business. So there's like anything else, there's fail safes in place.
Yeah, all right, I follow you. So you know that business very well. There was something else I was going to ask, and now I forgot what I was going to say. All right, but thank you, Doug. I appreciate all that info. That was very helpful, because at least you get a little bit of insurance somewhere.
Right, but any money you're putting in a brokerage account to buy stocks, unless it's long-term, like in my own account, I speculate. That's all I do. I don't do that in my clients' accounts. Me, I'll make a $7,000 trade on a Friday that will be worthless next Friday if the stock doesn't go up or down to a certain price. I'm doing options trading, but that's what I do in my own account. But I know every time I buy that option, I'm saying goodbye to that $7,000 most likely. And I might say goodbye to it in this week, and I might say goodbye to it next week. And then the third week, it might make up tenfold for that 14 that I lost. I got to grab the phone. KB2 UKA.
Okay, now I remember what I was going to say. You grab the phone, but let's hope that we don't get stuck with another Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, there you go, Rich. So, I was going to ask you, you smoking anything good lately?
No, I don't. I don't smoke anything. I don't smoke. You know that, Bruce. I told you. I don't. In fact, I don't even drink anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that we were talking cigars one night.
No, that's Rick. Rick, you got me confused. Rick is the... and Doug. Doug puffs to smoke the cigar.
Oh, I love my cigars. I'm back.
Oh, Madon. Okay, I'm sorry. I got you confused. Yeah. So, Doug, where did you start out on the street?
No, well, yeah, on A Street, just not Wall Street. I'm going to be 45 in June. So when I was 22, I got licensed at one of these small firms here on Long Island. I got my Series 7 and my Series, back then it was a Series 63. And then at 26, I got a job at JP Morgan. And then by 28, I was managing advisor teams at JP Morgan. And I worked there for 15, 16 years. And then in 2018, I left them and started my own firm. And it's me and a business partner. And then we have 10 other advisors and support staff that work there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just curious because, my daughter started out as a bond trader for AIG. And then she went over to Credit Suisse. And she ended up becoming in charge of institutional trading for Credit Suisse San Francisco. And then she ended up meeting her husband now, but he ran the tech sector funds for Schroders Bank in London, and they ended up getting married. Make a long story short, she doesn't. Then she was consulting to the CFO of Oracle for a couple of years, and then she stopped working. And now my son-in-law was appointed economic advisor to the Prime Minister of Japan. So they're always going back and forth to Japan. But, she started out as a grunt down on Wall Street. Over.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, what she does and what your son-in-law does is a lot different than what I do. I've been retail my whole life, all retail. I'd say half of what we manage large. Half of what we do is we are the advisor on large 401k plans for like 100 employee, 500 employee, 1,000 employee businesses. So we come in, we bid on the 401k, we win the 401k plan, and then we offer one of the perks of working with us. We offer all complimentary financial planning to all the employees of the business. So whether you're the janitor or the CEO, you could sit down with one of our advisors and they will build you out a bona fide financial plan. And there's no addition, which we would normally charge a fee for that. But for the businesses, we do a complimentary because we're earning fees off the 401k. So we kind of, and that's also like a feeding mechanism, all those employees of the business. So, yeah, they're very, very different from what I do. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, okay. Well, see, I'm on the other side. I do the infrastructure design for trading floors and then the back end. We used to be the back end big data centers, but it's back end comm rooms and then the feeds to the data centers. And I've been doing that, almost 50 years. So I've been in the thick of it from the big guys. So I Doug, I never liked working for the big guys because it was just a lot of headaches with them. So I was doing a lot of hedge funds in the days of the hedge funds. General Motors building all the way down West 57, 9 West 57th was another hedge fund beehive. Did a lot of those. And then when the guys were moving out of the city up to Greenwich and Stamford, I was doing a lot of floors up there. Got into energy trading and a lot of the energy trading floors. Those took me all over the world. But yeah, so I'm on the other side. I'm the guys that make sure your computer runs when you sit down at your position. Over.
Well, that's very important. If you notice, I said I started the firm in 2018. At JP Morgan, I was always a pretty highly ranked executive director. I would run teams of like 20 advisors, and we were judged, on asset growth, net new money, my ability to get advisors to come work for JP Morgan from other firms. And I was always in like the top quintile, always. And your bonus is linked to that performance. And the last couple of years, I'd be like number 1, number 2, and this is out of probably 50 of me. I started not getting the highest review. I'd get like 1 under the highest, which affected my bonus. And it was because I wasn't joining these DEI business groups. And I said, no, I'm not going to join that. I'm not here to join that. Why am I not joining the Pride group? Why am I not joining the Latinx group? And I was raising a young family. I was working 13 hours a day anyway. Now I got to take a train into Manhattan once a month and sit in a meeting to learn how to make sure that I'm hiring more Latinos instead of just hiring the best people. That's when I said I got to go. And I left within 2 years.
Yeah, let me turn it over to Rich, and then I'll comment on that because I'm dealing with that right now. Go ahead, Richie, to pick it up.
Yeah, Doug, I remember what I was going to say before, and I think you had to grab the phone, but I mentioned it to Bruce. I said you gotta. What about the firms? You gotta watch out for firms like. Remember the Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh yeah, it's a great movie. But yeah, see, I was a little too young. I got licensed, I think, in 2002 or 2003. That was all like that was like started in the 90s. But go ahead.
That guy really existed too, and he was out here on the island. But yeah, you don't want to end up with a firm like his because they were just selling you paper, right?
Yeah, well, they were doing a lot of different things. But yeah, absolutely. What they were doing. They were selling fake companies. So if you invested $100,000 with that broker, not only did he charge you commission, the whole $100,000 went to the firm. There was no company. There was no company. They were doing that. They were manipulating the market. Very, very bad stuff. But yeah, that was all over Long Island. That we were like the epicenter of it here.
Okay, but I don't think anything like that's going to happen again. I think they put regulation in place to prevent that.
Well, people still get scammed all the time, but the difference between now and then was if you were a farmer in Kentucky in 1989 Okay? There was no E-Trade. There was no TD Ameritrade or or online Schwab. Okay? If you wanted to invest money in the stock market, you needed a broker. That's what you needed. So you get these degenerate kids working at a chop shop. They weren't calling guys in New York. They were calling wealthy people in other states far away from New York. And they would say, hey, Jim, it's Sean Davis from ABC firm. I'm right here on Wall Street. And these guys would wire them millions of dollars to buy stock. That's who got hurt. It was a lot of Midwesterners.
I gotta go have dinner, guys. Be back a little later, 12 a.m., 7-3.
Enjoy the chow. KB2 UKA.
Oh, Mike, enjoy your meal and talk to you later.
Okay, Mikey, take care. K2RPM.
One.
Was there someone else in there that wants to get in?
Yeah, I don't hear anyone.
There was someone for a second, but they didn't ID, and they were loud too. Come on in if you wanna.
Heard it too.
And the other misconception, Richie, because you probably have a 401k at work. Your 401k at work is just a brokerage account. That's all it is. Okay? You're not investing in your company's 401k. And that's a lot of education that, very intelligent people think that, the old company that I worked for, their 401k was better than the new company that I worked for. It's the same damn thing. All it is a brokerage account with a list of funds that you can buy. So when you go in, you do your contribution, you set up your allocation. All right, 60% in stock, 40% in bonds. And now I got to pick my 60% in stock. So you say, put 10% in the large cap, 10% in the mid, in the small, in the international, in the European fund, blah, 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 blah. That money is in the fund at the fund manager, at the fund company. That has nothing to do with your 401k. The fund company, you're buying a basket of stocks. So if you don't have a brokerage account, but you have a 401k, you really have a brokerage account.
Yeah, that would make sense. And yeah, we have it, and we've always had them. It doesn't seem like I do very well. Seems like because I constantly pay into it, it meets the regulations of up and down. So the wins and the losses, seems like I could just save money in the bank and do better.
Well, it depends what investment option you're choosing inside of it, right? For example, if you would have just put it in the S&P since you've been working there, it would be up so much, Richie. And the fact that your money goes into it every 2 weeks or every week or twice a month, however often you're paid, that's called dollar cost averaging. So every time you make a contribution in, it's buying into the fund, whether it's up or down, right? So like last week, you could have went in and you could have upped your contribution so that it injected a load of money when the market came down, and then you could have lowered your contribution back down. But you should send me a screenshot on what funds you're in. I could, as a friend, not as a financial advisor, I could tell you what you're invested in. Because I've seen horror stories, Richie, where the person didn't know what they were doing, and they ended up putting the money in what's called a stable value fund. And they worked at the company for 30 years, and they contributed, $400 grand over 30 years, and their account value is $600 grand. Where if they would have just put it in the damn S&P, they would have contributed $400,000 over 30 years, and their account value would be $3 million. So it's very important on the choice that you make in that.
Yes, it would be, but they tell you, when the times are bad, to put it in a stable fund, not to take chances, or when you're getting towards the end, to put it in a stable fund. So this way you know what you got before you retire.
Well, whoever's telling you that's bad. In my opinion, that's bad advice until you retire. But that money is there's 3 buckets of money that we all have. Short-term money I need today. Medium-term money, like 3 to 5 years. I want to buy a house. I want to send my kid to school, whatever the hell it is. And then long-term money, 20 years plus. The 401k falls into the long-term money, no matter what. So that's where you want to take all the risk as possible, okay? That money is growing tax deferred. So that means if you put in $1 and that dollar grows to $100, you're not paying any taxes. When you hit 59 and a half, you're allowed to start taking money out of it. But most people work till their 60s, okay? At 65, if you retire, the point of that 401k is not for you to log in and withdraw 200 grand. When you withdraw money in retirement out of the 401k, every dollar that you withdraw is going to be counted as ordinary income, like a paycheck. That's when they tax it. So they don't tax it while it's growing. They tax it when you withdraw it. So if you have, forget about Social Security. Pretend you don't have Social Security, which you will, but pretend you don't. And you withdraw $100,000 out of your 401k. That's going to put you in the $100,000 tax bracket as if you were working, which might be 25, 30%. I don't know. So that means you withdrew 100 grand, you're going to owe the IRS 25 grand come April 15th. So the point of these accounts is not to pull out huge chunks of money and go buy a boat or go buy a new house. It's to draw down money from it each month, twice a year, 4 times a year, whatever it is, to supplement your income in retirement. Now, here's the kicker. If you don't take any money out of it, when you turn 73, the IRS is going to force you to take a minimum amount out each year going forward. And that there's a calculation that's done by wherever your 401k is, and they'll tell you what that amount is when you turn 73. Let's say it's 20 grand a year. If you neglect to take it out, whatever you were supposed to take out, the penalty is half of that. So the IRS says, okay, you're 74, you got to take 20 grand out this year. You don't do it, bang, you owe the IRS 10 grand as a penalty for not taking your own money. So what happens is if someone doesn't have a large 401k balance and they're relatively healthy and they're going to live to be in their 90s, and now the government's forcing them to take money out of it each year at 73, they could deplete that account before they die. And then they're stuck only earning their Social Security. So that's what we help people with. We help people take those 401ks and put them in a strategy that has insurance on it, where we're not insuring your life, we're not insuring the return, we're ensuring that whatever it's going to pay you every month, that can never go away, even if the value goes to zero. So I would suggest, Rich, as you get older and you get closer to that day, it's very, very prudent to talk to someone. Go ahead.
All right, Doug, thank you.
Yeah, Doug, I got 2 years away from RMD, and yeah, we're working something out. But one of my questions is for you, K2RPM, is if you take X number of dollars out, can you reinvest it, or does the government prevent you from doing that?
You can do whatever you want with it. It's just got to come from the IRA or the 401k and go into a non-retirement account. So let's say your RMD is 20 grand, Bruce. You got to withdraw it out of the IRA or the 401k, wherever your money is. And then you could send it right to your brokerage account at Charles Schwab or right to your checking account and then to your investment account. But yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. You just got to get it out of the tax qualified account.
I never quite understood the logic behind that. Well, I understand from the government's perspective what the logic is, but whatever the required taxes involved, they're looking for their money. But I just never understood the general logic behind it.
The logic behind the tax deferred growth, or the fact that they force you to take it?
No, that they force you to take it.
You said it. They let it grow all those years with no tax. They want their tax revenue. Now, here's a funny thing that happens. When you die, if you are married, your spouse can take that IRA, let's just call it an IRA, because a 401k and an IRA, they're taxed the same way. So let's say you retired, years or wherever you retired, Bruce, you rolled your 401k into an IRA, which I also I would do, because now you can invest however you want. You're not stuck to the rules of the options within the 401k. So you're 80 years old, you got $1 million left in your IRA, you're taking your RMDs, and you die. Well, and your wife is alive. That IRA now becomes her IRA, and she's under her rules for the RMD. So that's an easy switch. I die, my retirement accounts that are tax qualified, that are subject to RMDs, they're now in my wife's name. Let's say I was a baller and I was 80 and my wife was 60. Okay, that becomes her IRA. She doesn't have to take RMDs till she's 73. Now, let's say your spouse is deceased and you have a child and you die. That IRA goes to your 40-year-old child or 50-year-old child. They're not a spouse. It does not become their IRA. It becomes their inherited IRA. And now they are forced to take all the money out and pay the taxes. I got to check my notes. It's either 5 or 10 years. They just changed it. But they have a certain amount of time. But so if you have $1 million IRA, they got to take about, $100,000 out over 10 years and pay $30,000 in taxes each year on it. So we do that planning also, to do that estate planning to try to prevent your kids from having to give 30% of your money over to the government.
Yeah, very interesting. Yep, and I went through a lot of that. I have a very good advisor up here that has addressed your points, and certainly you're qualifying or confirming the advice that they've been giving me. But it's I don't know. Well, we're better off, as you may know, Doug, we're better off in this country than a lot of countries. If you consider the taxation policies in Europe or in the UK, I mean, we're not that bad off. So, but anyway, let me turn it over to Richie. I know Mikey went to chow down, and we'll rotate it. Go ahead, Richie.
Right. K2RPM, KC2ZUR, KB2UKA. All right, so I was just going to break in and get the heck out of here. I've been back and forth at the radio all day between 40 and now 180. I'm going to go put the TV on, relax, and put a movie on, probably one of those Transformer movies or something. And I got them in Blu-ray, so that's what I'm going to do. Maybe fall asleep in the recliner. I usually take a nap that way. I put the movie on, and about 15, 20 minutes into the movie, I'm out.
Well, that's good. We were home very late. I went to bed almost at midnight last night. I never do that. Richie, you believe my son's baseball game, his first game was last night, and they didn't call it? I was coaching third base. We were freezing. We were soaking wet, and they didn't call the game. These kids' lips were blue. It had to have been 30 degrees out there. Then we came home at 7 o'clock. Everyone warmed up, and then they wanted to go to Friday night skates at the skating rink, and we were there till 10:30.
Well, the kids they got that agility. They bounce right back. So, hey, whatever makes them happy. Listen, Doug, you're going to miss these days, let me tell you. So, enjoy it while you can.
Oh, absolutely. I know, I complain sometimes, but then I catch my breath and I realize it. My daughter is going to be 12 in August, and I was tucking her into bed the other night. And I read to her. I usually read to her every night, but we've gotten very busy. We're going to bed later. They've got a load of activities. So she goes, you haven't read to me in like 3 weeks. And she was very upset about it. So I damn well read to her because there's going to be a time when she doesn't want it.
You go, yeah, that's how it works. Hey, before you know it, she'll be getting married, Doug. 10, 15 years goes by in a blink of an eye.
Oh, you got that right, Rich. You got that right. All right, 73. You know what, Bruce? I think I'm going to follow him out of here.
Okay, yeah, very good. I was going to do the same. So, good evening, Rich. Doug, always a pleasure to talk to both of you. And Doug, we'll have to catch up on some new cigar offerings. I'm getting jonesing as the weather gets a little better. It gives you more opportunity to fire one up. So anyway, good evening to both, and enjoy the weekend. Maybe I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Let's see, KB2UKA and KC2ZUR. Good evening, gentlemen. K2RPM will be clear.
Hold on real quick. I got one cigar thing to tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So there's a Rocky Patel cigar called the Conviction. It's like $110 a stick. You can't. They come in boxes of 10, and the box is like $1,050. Cigar International, any of the local stores. So my father-in-law. Long story short, I've got a box coming to me for $400, and I've never smoked one. And he got me I had him pick me up a box and a single. So I'm going to smoke the single, probably like a week after I put it in the humidor, and then I'm going to smoke one out of the box in probably a year.
Oh my God! I'd make a trip to Long Island just to smoke one of those. Oh, that's wonderful. Good for you. Yeah, that's a rare opportunity. Yeah, you'll have to either shoot a YouTube video and put it up on your channel like a cigar review, or at least shoot me an email and let me know how it was. Over.
I watch the cigar reviews all the time, and maybe I will do one. I could do it in my backyard. Absolutely, I will. All right, Bruce 73, Richie 73, KB2 UKA clear.
All right, good evening, guys. Nice chat. Good cue, so always a pleasure. Good evening, K2RPM clear.
John.
Is John?
Sometimes I can't hear John. It must be because you're west, I guess. It's just that angle, exactly. For here, it's due east. Apparently, that's the issue. Which way you got your antenna there, Dart? One leg is northeast, and the other leg is southwest.
And mine is my antenna's pointing north. And I hear you guys. My dead zone is up to the northwest.
Well, you guys are booming in here. KB2 UKA.
Yeah, you and Dorman Art's about the same signal strength to me up here.
I barely hear you. You're S7.
Oh, the band was messed up this morning.
Hey, Doug.
Hello. I am here. I'm alive. Very, very busy. Very busy week. Hope you guys are doing well. You're all booming in here. Are we talking about signals now or this morning?
No, just in general, but yeah, this morning was crappy.
I'm going to coin the phrase for you, Doug.
Let's hear it.
You're the gold wing.
The golden wing. I should spray paint it gold.
I think that's a Honda motorcycle, but still. Right now, you're the first one, and boy, it sounds wonderful.
Well, thank you, Bill. You don't have her in line yet?
No, I'm doing the whole deal. I'm doing the annoying all that. I'm not putting it on the flex.
And Jeff sent me a picture last night. I think is his up and running?
Yeah, him and I was going back and forth all night yesterday and half of last night.
Yeah, Carter had his first baseball game in 30-degree weather with sleet, and they didn't call it. I was coaching third base. It was horrible. That ended at 7. We came home. We took hot showers. We dried up. And then the kids wanted to go to Friday night skates at the ice rink, which is from like 8:30 to 10:30. And there's some shady shit that goes on there, so we don't leave. We hang out, like we sit in the bleachers. And there are other parents there too. So we got home at like 11 o'clock. I went to bed at midnight. I was up at 9. I missed you guys this morning. But does he have his on the air, Bill?
Oh, yeah. He got it sounded pretty good, Doug. I mean, he, a little wee bit of tweaking there. But he got it running. Like I said, I downloaded the software. About 2 days I was on it steady just learning about it. And he got it running, and he sounds half decent on it. He might have to tweak it a little bit.
All right, good. It's a lot of fun. If I had some time, I probably would have built 3 more. I want to try different profiles. I want to try different plugins, and but this is probably going to be my generic one right here.
Well, I'll tell you what, Doug. The deeper you get into that, into the wing, that thing is loaded.
It appears so. Actually, you shared a video the other day that I think shows how to turn the spectrum analyzer on the EQ.
Yeah, you didn't do that yet?
No, I couldn't figure it out, and then I saw there's a settings button above it. That's probably where you turn it on.
Yeah.
KR4.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, not sure. Is that, go ahead, station?
Kilo India 4, Quebec, Papa Uniform. I just want to say hello to everybody, and heard Doug on there, and just saying hello from Tennessee, just running 100 watts with a Icon 7300, and just say I'm a subscriber and love the videos, but don't have a computer hooked up to the 7300, so audio is what it is, but I just want to say hello. Everybody sounding great tonight.
Well, hello, John. I do hear you up here. I got you about 4x8, but I hear you. And, guys, I have the YouTube stream going.
Oh, I thought that was Brian.
I thought it was Brian also, but I do hear you, John. No problem. Do you have a copy on me?
Yeah, I do. I just want to say hello to everybody. Sounded great. Really interested in the audio stuff, but my shack is a long ways off from the house and don't have internet access or Wi-Fi, so it kind of slows me down. And don't have a hard line to right here, but I need to get a laptop and just plug everything in to the laptop, bring it out here, and see if I can get everything running. But anyway, I just want to say hello. Everybody sounded great, and enjoy the channel when I get a chance to watch it. And just want to say hello. Y'all have a good one.
All right, John. Thanks for dropping in. If anybody else wants to pick them up, go ahead.
I'm just going to say how you're doing there, John. You got Bill, Bravo India Lima Lima, call signs Kilo 1 Whiskey India Lima. I'm up here in the state of Pennsylvania, out by Pittsburgh area.
Okay. Well, yeah, like I say, everybody's sounding great. You're all, I guess everybody's running the SDRs, but it's really awesome how well everybody sounds, and the signal's doing good. Of course, the signal is pretty good tonight, which is pretty odd, because 20 and 40 has been terrible today, but it's not a lot of static here. Everybody's sounding great.
Hey, John, I'm going to pass you over to Dominic, and he's running a 7300. Listen to the audio that's coming out of that radio.
Hey, I didn't catch the call sign. I was doing something online. This is Dominic, W4D1. I'm over here in Columbia, South Carolina, just north of Columbia. Who we got?
Yeah, this is John, KI-40QPU in East Tennessee, about a hour and a half northeast of Dollywood, Gatlinburg, that area.
Oh, Roger. Very good, very good. Yeah, you sound pretty good here. I got a good signal on you. And what, are you running an amplifier too?
No, just the 7300, and I've got a 160-meter doublet that I've got put up at Flat Top, and if I remember correctly, it's about 264 feet, something like that.
Oh, you're doing good. Yeah, I've seen you hit 20.
Yeah, it's a big doublet.
Yeah, I'm running the 7300 too, and a Mercury amp, about 800 watts. This antenna is a double bazooka. Yeah, you sounded real good for 100 watts, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, hopefully one day I can get a amplifier. I'm actually looking into upgrading to a FTDX 101 Delta. I would love to get into the G2, maybe Sun SDR, that type of thing. But right now I don't know enough about it to take the leap into it. I'm going to stick with more of a traditional radio for now and learn as I go. But yeah, you're doing a great job over here.
Yeah, I love the 7300. I'm not too big on Yaesu anymore. I've had a lot of radios in my time, but the ICOM seems to be the best. I mean, the G2 would be a nice radio if you want to get into SDR or any of the online.
Well, it's one of those things you got to sell something in order to have money for another, and it's. Right now, it's a large investment just for the 101 Delta, and the G2, of course, you get maybe something used, but you never know about that. But anyway, I think I'm going to stick with the 101 Delta for now, and then maybe upgrade into SDR later. And of course, go ahead and get a good microphone in behind it as well. So it's going to be a while, but. I feel like I'm taking up y'all's time, and I hate to interrupt, but I just want to say hello to everybody. I've heard you all in conversation through YouTube, but I've never caught y'all actually live on the air with radio.
Oh, pull up a chair, just jump in. Everybody get to meet you, and you can just sit there and jump in whenever you feel like it, and let us know what you think. All right, I'm going to pass you over to who else wants to make contact with this W4 dealer.
Hey, can I pick him up real quick again, John?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I'm going to make a suggestion, and that's all it is a suggestion. With that antenna you're running, I would take that DX10 money, or 101, whichever one you said, I'm sorry. Get yourself an amplifier, brother. You will be one of the loudest stations on the band. I'm looking at your QRZ page. Unbelievable. Get yourself an amplifier and get yourself some Starlink internet, and that's all you'll need in that remote shack. Over.
Okay. Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with the area you live in as far as conditions-wise, and it may be kind of hard to visualize, but if you looked at me on Google Maps or whatever, I'm surrounded by woods, and I've just got I'm going to say about 340 feet of open area, and I could put up a loop or something like that. I'm just doing the doublet for now, and I've actually considered going with a Mercury 3 because price-wise it's about the same as the 101, but I'm almost... Most of the time, I'm running DX, and I transmit further than what I can hear, if that makes sense. And I guess the 7300 is sensitive enough, loud enough to hear stations, across the pond or wherever it is. But yeah, I've considered it to. Sometimes people say it's a great antenna, and others hate it. It's one of those things that they say it's a gross mismatch on the impedance, and they don't like it. But that is what it is. They're free to their opinion.
Well, you're right. They are. Well, I'm running a doublet. A bunch of us here are. It's the best wire antenna I have ever run. And I think Art could comment on the negative comments about the mismatched impedance and why that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, unbelievable signal, John. Seriously, when you came in here, this is Art, N4QNT, about Central North Carolina. 25 over, and, I'm looking at your signal on the pan adapter, clean, just like Dom, straight up and down, no big spurious emissions. So radio's transmitting clean and unreal. I thought for sure you'd be amped up, but now I'm on your page, of course. I see your matchbox hooked directly to the ladder line, go right up to the apex with that tremendous doublet. So you are putting out some lobes, man.
Well, I appreciate that. It's one of those things that I'm in a really small house, and my kids are they're in their 20s, and I'm raising my granddaughter, and she's 3.5, and we starting preschool, which is going to kill me in the fall. But yeah, I've got the kids home, and I don't have any room in the house for a shack. So I'm about 250 feet away from my breaker box in the house, and I've got, I say that to say this, I'm out with the Christmas decorations, and I also raise pigs if you've made it that far down into the QRZ page, but I've got some pictures of the pigs on there, but I'm out with the hog feed and the goat feed and the Christmas decorations. It's just one of those things that I've got to run a 220 line out here, and that's the grand scheme of things, it ain't a lot, but it's going to be about $240 in like 10-2 with the ground or 12-2 with the ground or 10-2 with the ground.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be quite the run, but yeah, well, if you go to the next level, that would certainly be it. I can only imagine you'd probably be nicking 40-ish, so with a kilowatt. So fantastic setup, very nice. All right, we'll pass it around here. See if Richard's still in there, and someone else will pick you up. Maybe DJ up in Canada. So that would be a good signal report. Nice to meet you, John. KI4QPU N4QNT. You there, DJ?
Yeah, I was just trying to get his call put in the QRZ here. John, give me a call again, please.
Yeah, go. It's Kilo India 4, Quebec, Papa, Uniform, KI4QPU.
Okay, good enough. Yeah, my call is Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Bravo Charlie. Name's Don, but I go by DJ Delta Juliet, and I'm in the community of Lambton Shore, Southern Ontario, Canada, just a half-a-mile walk overlooking the banks of Lake Huron and about a 30-minute drive to Sarnia, where the twin blue water bridges cross the St. Clair River into Michigan. And it looks like we are 478 miles separation, so 189, so you're almost due south of me there.
Actually, you're probably the furthest I've talked to anybody on 80, so thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're 5 over here into Lambton Shore.
Well, for 100 watts, I'll take it. And if you can copy me, then, I'm doing good enough, I reckon.
No problem. Good copy.
Well, I appreciate everybody's being as courteous as they have been. And I'll get over to the side and let you guys continue on. I don't want to take up your whole night giving me signal reports, but thank you, and I appreciate it. And Doug, I will consider the Mercury instead of the Yazoo, but thank you for that.
Oh, no problem whatsoever. And when I made that suggestion, I forgot about the most important part, which will be the electric. Do you have any electric out there now?
Yeah, I'm running. To tell you the truth, I've never looked at the wiring. It's installed previous to me buying the home, but it does have 110 out here. I don't know if it's a 14 or a 12 gauge wire, but it's able to to run some lighting and a the Astrom 35 power supply. Right now I don't have a lot of draw out here, but I definitely can't use the mercury. I'm afraid that the draw plus the distance, I'm going to be losing a lot of voltage running it on 110. I'm thinking you're probably saying run it on 110, and then you've got 300 to 500 watts to play with that way.
Well, yeah, I was thinking that, but I think maybe you change instead of doing the 240 run temporarily, you put a bigger breaker in on that line. I bet you'd still get 1,000 watts out. I ran the mercury on 110, 120 at my last QTH on a very highly shared circuit, and I was getting 1,100-1,200 out.
Hey, W3 DEP.
Operator, I can't even talk now. Exciter drive power to get much out of the mercury. I do like it for that, but I don't want to overload the circuit, especially with the distance. I don't know if the distance is going to change how much voltage I'm able to get on this end of it. It is a pretty long run, and I'm guessing I haven't actually pulled the tape to see it. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere around the neighborhood of 250 feet from the breaker table.
Go, guys. It's getting darker here. I got to put my chickens away, so I'll catch you guys maybe in the morning. Victor Alpha 3 Kilo, Bravo.
73 DJ, and hello, Dwayne.
Hello, everyone, and talk to you later, DJ.
I'm going to get out here and let you guys have it. Y'all have a good one, and it's good to talk to everybody and meet everybody.
Dwayne, narrow up a little bit.
Hopefully we can do it again some other night. This is KI4 TPU. I will be clear.
Hey, John, I just want to know, man, is the gold in Fort Knox?
I'm going to say no.
All right, see you later. All right, and hello, Dwayne. W4D on Friday.
KB2 UKA.
N4QNT.
K1WIL.
And W3 DEP, and I forgot I was out a little bit too wide. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, I heard that big signal. I looked up here, and I thought, boy, them guys on 95 not going to like that.
Is that John? Who's got the key here?
Yeah, what are you doing, 6K?
Well, earlier today when the band was completely dead, as we all know, right here, my buddy KP68 was on there, and we wanted to try 5K real quick, and we did. And when I shut it down, I forgot to put it back. So there you have it.
I thought I heard some voices on this frequency. I did FTA, I left it here, and I heard some light talking going on. I couldn't make out what it was.
Hey, Dom, you're always hearing voices.
That's the truth. I got everybody recorded, too.
And hello, Doug. Good to hear you.
Good to hear you too, Dwayne. You're booming in here, a little over 20, but really loud.
Yeah, you're doing the same here, over 20. One time you hit the 30, but sounding good.
Hey, Doug, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
You're running that Pultec. Are you balancing it out, or are you running any mids, or you're not running through there on the mid-range?
I think I am. Hold on. I don't even have the software up. And the software will be quicker than the front panel because I'm not used to using it. All right, here I am. I'm in. I am... okay. Let me go to mid. I'm have the mid frequency set at 500, and I'm running 4 on the mid dip, so I'm cutting a little bit. I'm running no high mid boost and no low mid boost.
Okay. See, some of the videos I was watching, they sort of contradict themselves on that. I was just curious how you run yours. Some of them aren't running the mids at all.
The original Pultec EQP1A did not have a mid control. That's probably why.
Okay, that answers the question then.
So what I did, I took a picture of the plugin and I uploaded it to ChatGPT and I told it, I said to it, tell me what each of these knobs does. And it was pretty damn good. But yeah, all I did was I did a little bit more dip in the 500 range and it caused a little bit more separation.
Yeah, you get that dip and that separation. That's what makes it sound good.
Yeah, and I obviously I have a cut there. Hold on, let me see. I will take a picture. This is the main EQ, and we are doing that. Hold on. Okay, that's my main EQ. So I've got a cuts in the low end, big cut at 500, swooping up, and then all zero in the high end.
Okay. Yeah, I see it now.
Hey guys, you see that one FX plug-in, right, for the X-Air, the dual X-Tech EQ5, which is that mid-range equalizer. That thing, I'll tell you what, I think this is a secret weapon for this box.
Pultec, same thing.
That's like the emulation of the Pultec art. It's amazing.
It really is. This is where I think would convince me. Seriously, that's why that M1's it's retired.
Now you have another one in there. I forgot the name of it, which is more of the actual Pultec. So the trick with the Pultec, and this, I'm looking at this one right here and doesn't have it. So, but there's another plugin in the X-Air that does. You want to boost the low. So on the low boost, you boost the low and you attenuate the low at the same level. It's an old trick they used to do in music recording. It's called the Pultec bass trick, and it adds these harmonics almost like a big bottom.
Yeah, I'm going to look through these lists for that.
It might be EQ1. It might be the dual X-Tech. It's one. It looks just like this, except it has a high boost and it has a low boost and a low cut. And whatever you set your low boost to, match it with the low cut. That's the Pultec trick.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, dual X-Tech EQ1, and exactly as you described.
Yeah, that's right. And a gentleman, that guy, SV, I forgot it. Fotis is his name. He's a big audio guy in Greece. He taught me that about 2 years ago. He said when I had the Apollo, the UAD Apollo, he said use the Pultec and YouTube Pultec bass trick. And boy, it's a big thing they used to do in recording.
Hey, Doug, you running the software or you're just coming out of the wing? You're not running the software on a computer?
I am, but what I do is when I first turn the radio on, I load the software, even though I don't really need to, and then I exit out. Like right now, I have it X'd out. But if I want to, I'm using my cans because I'm on YouTube. If I wasn't on YouTube and I wanted to, hold on 1 second. If I wanted to put the monitors back on, I would just reload the software.
Oh, okay. Hey, Dwayne, are you running that in the 18? Or are you running a Pultec?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I figured you were. I thought I heard that in there, seriously.
I just added that in here, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll mess around with it, but I increased some of the low boost gain and the low frequency, like 30 hertz, and yeah, I could see it. I could see it on the pan adapter.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to play with it with recording yourself, but you're gonna have a lot of fun with. That's where my low end is coming from. That's all that.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, this thing has hundreds and hundreds of options. It's unbelievable. So I can only, and this is a little guy. I can imagine with the wing, man. You guys are unreal with the Aphex, right? There is someone mentioned there's an Aphex big bottom in there, right?
There's two plugins. One's an exciter and one. And what's it called, Bill? Phantom bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do. I'm not using it now. I tried using it. That's why I want to keep playing around and build other profiles. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there.
It has a virtualizer in there too. Basically, that's in there also. So Doug, that site you invited me to earlier today, have you had any experience selling or good luck with that, or is that just one of the ones you just read through?
I invited you because I saw your ad for the I always say it wrong, Vorsis, right? I've never sold on there, but I've purchased on there, and I've had no problem. These are mostly all Nashville musicians. And I bought remember the HHB Classic 70 tube power EQ that I had Voodoo modified? I bought it off a woman on that site.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I think the way it works is I have to post on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, which I did, but then it gives you the option to click on groups that you're a member of, like, ham radio this, ham radio that, swap, whatever, and then it lists that on those groups as well. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Do I just go directly to that group and place the ad, or I think I have to start with Marketplace first?
I think you could do either or. So you already have a Marketplace ad. See if you can edit it and add that group once you're a member.
There you go. Okay, yeah, the guy let me in. So, yeah, that seems like the best spot out of all of these. You should see some of these comments. Oh, who would run equipment like that on ham radio? It must be a C beer.
Oh, I know. I don't even bother selling it on those sites. It's, those are all the QRMers that QRM us when they hear good audio. Sell it on Reverb. Oh, that's the other thing. You should just put it on Reverb. You'll sell it in like a day.
Well, I did. I had it on for a week, and I don't know. Maybe the guy was asking too much. $650 with shipping. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty decent price. One guy offered me $400. I got pissed off and took it off.
Just deny him. And I do pay for the boost. I pay like 5%, and that's how I sell quickly on there. If you boost it, because it'll boost it at a very low percentage, I do like a 5% boost. So whatever I sell it for, I end up paying them 5%. But it makes sure that it pops up everywhere.
That is so right. Yeah, you're all over it. I did the boost, right? And I saw it. It was so funny. I was on, there was whatever, I was at whatever site. And you know how those ads come in out of nowhere? You got all these ads. And it was Reverb, and mine was like in one of those little squares. I couldn't believe it. It was a Reverb, what is it? Like you're saying, I guess that's how they boost when they put their ads up on other people's site. And it just so happened mine was like one of the images in the frame.
Yep, it's so worth it. It's worth it if you want to move it quick. But someone will try putting it on that Nashville page. And boy, if you want to build an analog rack, that Nashville page is where to go. Because they're not, you could buy a Bellari preamp on there for what they're selling used gear different than the way we sell used gear. So if a ham radio guy is selling a Bellari preamp, he's going to try to sell it more than what it was brand new. But these guys are all musicians, so if they paid $300, they're selling it for $150.
Hey, Doug, I posted you a picture on Signal.
All right, hold on 1 second. I'm going to look in a second. I just got to answer this.
N4 QNT, just past the bottom.
K1WIL.
W4DO.
And W3 DEP.
And KG2MM. Good evening, everybody.
Hey, Mike.
Who's that guy?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Hello.
Feeling great. How y'all doing tonight?
Bill, very, very funny. Hello, Michael. I just answered you.
I got it.
Good to hear you, Mike.
Everybody's sounding marvelous this evening.
Yeah, you're hitting 10 over up here.
I think Doug said you were 35 over.
10.
Let me tell you that, Doug. I wasn't looking down, but you're sounding like you're 20, 25 on me. Go ahead.
Wow. Well, this QSB, you're 5'9" to 10 over. Mostly 10 over.
All right. I got you 5'9" to about 15 over, fluctuating up and down.
Well, I'll take it. Art, I ordered a 10E, by the way.
Oh, cool. All right. Hopefully, it should only be, I think those things will, they're probably almost finished with them. Hopefully they'll go, not one of these waiting games for years. You know what I mean?
Well, Tony emailed me offline, and he said 8 weeks. I didn't email him, but I think he knows who I am, which is cool because he featured a video once. So 8 weeks, that'd be cool.
Oh, not bad at all.
I plan on putting this little thing on the desk using a Linux laptop that I have. I have an old laptop that I have Linux, and I'm going to try running just Pi HPSDR on it.
Well, it'll certainly run very streamlined. With just that only, that operating system with that should be more than enough horsepower. Any regular laptop.
Yep. And I'm either going to connect the wing to it, or I have a headset here. Actually, I have the same headset that Darren uses. I've never opened it. I might just do all the EQing through Pi and see what I could do.
Yeah, they got that enhanced EQ now, right? The 10 band, I think, is built in now, and then they also added the CFC tools. That's all in there, and of course, pure signals. So you'll be all set with that.
Yeah, and I want to hear the damn receive. I'm hearing the receive is great on the Pi.
It really is. I mentioned that a couple of times. When I go and I use it just to, just check things out, see, boot it up, use that SDR with that software. There's just something about that receiver. It's unbelievable.
That's great. By the way, because I've been meaning to run the script to update the FPGA just to see if there's a new one. Do you know if they ever came out with 20?
I looked, a week and a half, and it's still 19. But I'll take a check on it now.
Hey, Doug, when you set your I can't get it up. When you set your FXs up, do you put them in post?
Okay. Yes, I put everything in post. I think I did. Let me double check. Connect. Okay. All right. I got it up here on the YouTube page if you want to take a look, Bill. Let me move my ugly mug out of here. I'll move myself over here. Good. Okay. So, remember, I'm only using... what did I do? Home. There we go. Yes, I have them in... Oh, where did I even set that? Did I set that in effects? Ooh, no, I have the Pultec set in pre, and I guess the reason I did that, and I have the DEQ on the output set in pre, I must have done that so that the slider doesn't affect the effect because it's right on the channel.
Yeah, you'd be correct on that, because if you'd slide that, slider and they were in post, they would adjust those.
Yes, the only time I think you would want it in post, let me see. Do I have... Nope, reverb I even have pre. Yep, I purposely chose pre. That's why.
Okay. Wow, good you asked. 21 is out.
Oh, really? And the same script that Darren did on his video will get it for me like I did before?
No, this is different. So I sent it to you. I sent the shortcut. You just scroll down to Saturn Primary 2024 V21.bin. You want to download the .bin file, put it to wherever you have access to it, even on a USB. You can put it in a USB on the back of your G2, and then you use that flash program on the Linux desktop to flash it.
Oh, yeah. Darren made a video on how to do that. That's what I was referencing. But, yep, okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it right from the VNC. So I won't even have to put it on the thumb drive.
There you go. It's exactly what I was just thinking before you just said it, and I was saying, oh, yeah, that's right. I was looking at the icon. Just going to do it that way.
So not only did they come out with 20, they came out with 21. And then what? The README down here tells you what they changed?
Right, the readme.md, and yeah, it's all in there. The whole reset timing for something, all this, a lot of stuff. DC spike, CW keyer issue. Yeah, this is a big upgrade.
And I wonder if P2's been updated.
We'll see. I might as well run that. It doesn't hurt anything just to run it. And then you look at the terminal window, and sure enough, you might see April the 8th,
Yep, absolutely. KB2, UKA right before the 40.
W4 dealer.
K1WIL.
And W3 DEP.
And 4 QNT.
4 WQT.
So how was it over there today, Dwayne? Nice weather?
Oh, boy, terrible.
Oh, man.
Do any flying, Dwayne?
I did not. Did a bunch of other stuff I wanted to get done, so I figure I'd just take some time off. And, of course, today it did not rain today, but it sure looked like it wanted to rain all day.
KG2MM.
So, Richard, that video you posted with the showing the head, the block, and all that. So, what do you get? Some kind of wire wheel on a drill and just go at it and clean all that off?
No. I had to scar up the heads there where it won't ever seal back. Use a straight razor blade and hope you don't gouge it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a tedious cleanup. Okay.
Yeah, where the rust is, then you use emery cloth.
Well, what is that? JB Weld is your friend, just in case.
Not on that. You mess that up, you mess your head up, you have to buy heads.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Thanks, James.
I used to use a Dremel tool with the plastic pads on it, and you get the green one. It's not as, it won't gouge.
Yeah, well, I can't find any of them.
Oh, because they're plastic, right, Tom?
Yeah, they're plastic, and they got like a twist lock. You should be able to get it in just the advanced auto parts or something.
I'm gonna go see a friend of mine tomorrow. He's got some I'll get from him. I've got the right angle air tool to do it with. I just got to get some of those pads.
Yeah, there's an arbor that goes in the tool, and then the twist. They call them twist locks. The twist locks on. Those are pretty neat for cleaning that stuff up.
Hey, Richard, you're starting to come up on me here. I guess the band's waking up for us.
Well, maybe. I got you 5 over here.
Yeah, same here. You were 5'8" when I first got on, but now you're booming in.
Well, the sun done went down, allowed me to transmit.
I'm going to have to do all that work on that daggone motor was the oil pressure release valve was stopped up and was blowing the gasket in between the filter and the block on the oil filter and spewing oil everywhere.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that could light up on fire while you're driving.
There ain't no fire when the oil's gone, it just lock the motor up.
Oh, okay. What's that one that leaks, like if it starts leaking the oil and it comes out on something? I forgot what you call it. It like flashes. It flashes and like the bottom left side of the engine starts up on fire.
Oh, you mean like the rear main seal oil leak?
Yeah, some kind of gasket down there that, the oil starts coming out of it.
Yeah, rear main seal hits the exhaust. Your exhaust would have to be pretty hot, though. Sometimes those cats get a little restrictive, and it will make that pipe turn red hot, and then you could have that kind of danger.
I was just going to say that, Dominic. I had one do it to me. It plugged up, man, and it was glowing underneath the car.
Yeah,
It's like
you'll
a
know
fireball.
if it ever thinks like your car, you got the horsepower, and it's not getting out of its own way. Just start that baby up at night, rev it up a little bit, not a whole lot. Then get up underneath it and look and see if your engine pipe is glowing.
Guy come pulling up on the side of you. Hey, man, you're on fire.
Yeah, a lot of fires start like that. People pull over the side of the road because their catalytic converter stopped up and causes a fire.
See that signal down below?
Yeah.
What, a 90, 94, 90, I think, 91?
Yeah, right around there. It was like a dirty AM signal.
I've had the oil pan off of this one here 3 times. The third time I took the timing gear cover off of it so I can get it all sealed back up proper.
Oh, yeah. So what do you got, a warp cat or something? You got oil in the water?
Not getting the water in the oil, but it wasn't because of the head. It was because of the gasket from the intake.
Oh, it was the intake? Yeah, because if it was the head gasket, I would say you need to send it down to a machine shop and make sure they true it.
I was fixing to pull the heads off of it. Well, I found that. Pulled the intake off of it. I said, oh, well, where the rest of this gasket at? It wasn't there.
What is it? What kind of vehicle?
4.3 V6 GM.
Oh, yeah.
All right, John, take care.
Yeah, it's got water going through that intake. I was watching this video here. People getting a canoe for the first time. How many of them just flip right over upside down? It's unbelievable.
They do what for the first time? What happens for the first time?
People use a canoe for the first time. You know, one of those things that you sit in, and they get the first time they learn how to use them. They get in the water and they flip over.
Oh, like a kayak or something.
Up on Rumble.
I thought it said communion.
I thought he said, communion or something.
That's what I thought he said. I thought, well, you take communion in church.
No, first time using a canoe. What were you putting up on Rumble, Richard?
Video of that motor when I pulled the intake off.
Oh, okay.
All right, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here. Hope you all have a fantastic evening, and maybe I'll catch you guys in the morning. KB2, UK clear.
See you, Doug. Have a good one.
Later, Doug.
7-3, Doug.
Have a good one, Doug. 73.
All right, Mike, I'll talk to you Monday. All right, everyone, take care. KB2, UK clear. And YouTube, you have a...
Me over.